All right. All right. Next thing. Next. Uh, I don't think I actually completed my thought. You know, big surprise. When I was mentioning patches, because I kind of went off on a rambling about like the legality and stuff. But like, I always let them live because like, here's the thing. Like, why can't I? Oh, I guess you can't bring up your map when an enemy is currently after you. Anyway. I'm gonna be honest, I don't... Actually, I do. I tell a lie. I tell a lie. Okay, look. Here's the thing. I mentioned that I think like all the underground areas must be like connected. Oh, fuck a duck. Hmm. Oh, let me just... I don't want to deal with these guys. Let me just hop up here. There we go. I can't... Oh, they're still on their way. There we go. Jesus Christ. All right, I want to check out the Sophia. I mentioned before that I think I mentioned it to David. I mentioned to David. I said to him that I think all the underground areas, like given the way the map looks, I think they're all connected and the game's fucking huge. But given the distance between them, it doesn't necessarily look like there's a connection unless like maybe like it goes like connects there. Which, don't get me wrong, it's not the end of the world if they're not all connected. Like, I thought it would be kind of cool if it was like a big interconnected thing. But if they're just like a few, because there's definitely aspects of this that I haven't explored. Um, I can't drop down there because that's too big of a drop, and I haven't. I could travel back and see like if I can figure out what that path is, and then take a left and then see what I can find. I don't know. I'll figure that out later because I want to explore this place. Because it's such a cool design. Like, I don't think this is the first time I've ever seen anything like this, but I think it's such a cool design. The idea of it being so far underground that like dust particles and shit and like sparkles in this, like, maybe I guess they're like gems in the ceiling or something. It can't be gems because like as you're coming down you can see it floating, but some kind of dust particles or something, magic particles, whatever, makes it look like it's a starry sky, and that is such a cool concept. Alright. And I can summon Horsey down here. I don't think I could summon Horsey in the other area. Pretty sure he wasn't available. And I know his name's Torrent. I just keep calling him Horsey. Someone was camping. And then things didn't end well for them. Melted mushrooms. And they melt in your mouth and not in your hands. Melted mushrooms. The tastiest mushrooms in all of the land. What the fuck am I doing? And the worst part is like, I want to just play this game. Like, I wouldn't mind just like being like, you know what, I got like fucking 30 fucking episodes out of it. I'm done. Like, I've I don't think I've ever finished a Souls game on this channel. Something always comes up, and like either a PC crash or like just something comes up, and I'm near the end of the game, and yeah, like with Dark Souls 1. Let's see here. Dark Souls. Okay, Dark Souls 2. I know. Um, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember like something came up, like another game came out that I kind of got distracted by, and I remember I ended that series, the Dark Souls 2 playthrough of the on this channel. I ended it by saying I've got an idea, and you will see the fruits of that idea in the next episode. And then there was just never another episode. And I actually remember what the idea was. Like, I even remember it. It was like an area that I was struggling with because the run back to the boss was just so fucking brutal that it was driving me nuts. So what I actually intended to do was go offline, like off recording, and just keep fighting the bosses, because Dark Souls 2 has that thing where if you kill any particular enemy a certain number of times, I think it's like 10 or 15, then they just stop respawning. Which, I don't know how I feel about that, because like I do get that like that's a decent way to do dynamic difficulty and everything, but like it does mean that like if you die enough, the level can just become empty. And ironically, it can actually mean that it can make the game more difficult for you, because if a good enough portion of those deaths were like repeated deaths, like in a row, without you retrieving your bloodstain, you could theoretically wind up in a situation where most of the levels, like, you'd have to suck pretty hard at the game, but you could wind up in a, but if you suck that hard, you'd be the person that like gets punished the most by this. You could theoretically wind up in a situation where the levels are just empty and you don't really have a way of grinding up souls anymore. But that run back through that like cave area, and I was just getting my ass kicked by the boss. I had intended on just like grinding the enemies down to get some of them to stop respawning, to make my run back easier. And I started to do it, and like I knew that was going to be like a thing that would take maybe a few sessions of playing. Just like playing like distractedly while doing other stuff. And I think before I would have had a... Oh. Thought that was like something golden scribbled on the ground. Like, do we have like the gold Riddler here? What, it looked like a question mark. Anyway. And then I honestly can't, like, I think if I went back to like the channel history, I could probably like see like what I was uploading next and maybe get an idea of what distracted me. Dark Souls 3, that was, I think, one of the times that like I had like a failure on my PC twice. The first time I think was because the second time I know was when I was in the middle of Sekiro. Like, not specifically while I was playing Sekiro, but like while I was in the middle of that playthrough. The actual crash, I think, happened while I was like watching something on YouTube, I think. Your little bubble attacks. I don't know how I feel about that. You really don't take much backstab damage, do you? Like, there's some enemies in this game where the amount of backstab damage they take, you would have gotten more damage if you had just used that opportunity of... Did I need to heal? I wasn't paying attention. I just kind of assumed I needed to heal at that point. I didn't actually look at my health bar. But like some of the backstabs, and it's fine. Like, it's fine that different enemies take different amounts of backstab damage, but sometimes you do a backstab and it's like, it would have done more damage for me to just do a couple attacks. And I suppose maybe that is like a hidden benefit. Hey, your bubbles are slow, but they're strong. They're like the bullets that those aliens shoot on Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Anyway, I guess that's like a benefit of... Yeah, like, I got behind him. If I had done a backstab there, the amount of damage that would have done would have been way less than what I got from doing that combo. But I suppose that's actually like a nice little hidden benefit. And I actually remember complaining at one point, and I hereby retract my complaint. I complained at one point that there's not like a unique backstab for doing your L1 dual-handed attack or dual-wielding attack, because I thought like it'd be kind of cool if you got like a special kind of backstab attack that did like extra damage and had like its own animation. But if you're not dual wielding, well, I guess you could do your R2 attack. I don't know if that'll trigger a backstab. I could find out. Yeah, your R2 doesn't trigger a backstab. But at the same time, it's slow, so I think it's less, like, the amount of damage I can get in with my combo. Immunized cured meat. Hey, now. I actually ain't gonna complain about a mage doing that much. Like, if there was any other kind of enemy, any other kind of enemy type, I might have the complaint that it's a little weird that a magic user has such a strong melee attack. But they are made of rocks. So... perishable rocks. Anyone else think he deserves his own standalone movie? Anyway, they should actually do that. Like the best Marvel thing ever would be just like a standalone series, like of like each, like from each franchise, like a random side character, because the side characters are like always the ones that are like so entertaining. But anyway, Jesus fucking Christ, there's a lot of you. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I kind of expected that. Like, if I'm being 100% honest, I kind of saw that coming. I was just hoping, like, I was hoping that I could complete the combo and roll away because I knew the combo would like damage all of them at once, and I was hoping I could do it and then roll away, but that didn't play out. And then they all hit me at once, which, you know, it would be unfair. It would be kind of hypocritical to complain about them all hitting me at once when that's kind of exactly what I was doing to them. I was hitting them all at once. They were returning the favor. Okay, look, I don't have, honestly, I don't have any beef with you guys. So I'm just gonna get my shit, and I'm gonna move on. All right? Does that sound good to you? Because it sounds good to me. It sounds fan-diddly-tastic. I need to check my city. I think I'm getting to a point where I'm kind of done with swag books. Like, I've got to a point where I'm really burnt out on playing mobile games that I don't give a shit about, and also kind of at a point where the offerings are getting more slim, because obviously once you've done a particular offer, you can't do it again. I mean, I guess you could like exploit it by like using a different phone on like a different network or something, make a new account. I mean, it'd be against their rules, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't go through that trouble, but I actually just recently got enough to get another $50 gift card, and I chose Amazon this time because I need to order a new HDMI cable because mine's really short and keeps getting yanked on to the point where part of it's bent. And like, my worry that it's gonna, like, the HDMI cable is gonna break is like a tiny worry compared to my worry that like the actual like port will break, like will damage the port. Which, to be fair, the TV has 2 HDMI ports on it, so it's not like if one gets messed up, it's not the end of the world. But I want to get a longer HDMI cable, and then I didn't check because I'm stupid and I'm impulsive and I don't think things through. But let me do a quick battle. Oh, you sneaky snake. Bubble Man. Bubble Man is... I'm the Bubble Man. That's what I am. I'm here to do whatever I can. Be it blowing bubbles. Oh, the Bubble Man. He's a little more dangerous than the Rubber Man. It's like you have these like little just battles that you can do as part of the progression in this game, and they're very binary. Like, it is what it is. I don't expect like I've long like I know like I've like any expectation of like deep mechanics in mobile games is like something that definitely doesn't exist for me anymore. Like don't get me wrong, I know there's some mobile games out there that are pretty deep, especially ones that you actually have to pay for instead of like free to play. But the thing about the battles in that one is that you just you have certain troops, you place them on the field, and then they just auto battle. But it's a very binary thing of like what amount of damage you do versus what amount of damage the enemy does, and then using like you have some skills that you can use, but they're also very like there's no strategy involved. I guess is what I'm saying. It just comes down to if you've researched and like because as you research, can someone explain to me why is it that every single time I find one of those is when I don't need it? I don't I honestly can't think of a time that I've found one of those and I actually like was low on flask. Um, so like at the beginning of and the game I'm talking about is called Rise of Cultures. It's one of the games I'm playing for swag bucks. I get I think $20 worth of swag bucks if if I make it to a certain research within 14 days, which I'm like halfway there already. I only started like 5 days ago, so I think I'll probably make it. Is it really necessary for me to have to jump onto the to do the, okay. Oh. Oh, you know what? I don't really feel like dealing with you guys, if I'm being honest. Like, you guys, like, are kind of like a frustrating enemy to deal with because you're in that middle ground where you're not strong enough to provide, like, a really, like, an actual, like, exhilarating, like, challenge. Like, exhilarating might be a little, bit of a stretch of a word, but, you're not strong enough to, like, really provide a challenge to make me, like, really have to like pay attention, but you're just strong enough to where I can't just mindlessly mow you down. Annoying middle ground. So anyway, when I started the game, I was in the Stone Age, and like I had like spearmen and like I think slingers, like dudes with slings slinging rocks. And since then I've upgraded, I've got swordsmen, and I've got bowmen, and I've got cavalry, which the cavalry is so fucking useless. All it does, and all it does, which I get that technically this isn't useless, because I do recognize, like, what it's accomplishing, but all it does is, like, charges through the battlefield, ignoring everything in front of it, not even doing damage. Like, if it did damage to what it was charging at, that would maybe, like, be a little different. And then just fights whatever's in the back row, which is usually the enemy's bowmen. And like, and it doesn't usually beat them. Like it usually dies pretty like before like it can get rid of all the bowmen. But at the same time, I recognize that that's also lowering the amount of bowmen doing damage at that time, so that as the battle goes on, the bowmen are no longer, shooting shots at me and my other people's. But anyway, like, it really is just a binary, like, if you either have the troops you need, like, you have the troops unlocked that you need, or you don't. That's really what it comes down to. And after a battle, any troops that died are gone. You do get you get a thing in the corner that says heal all, and it costs gems, which is the premium currency. But to give you an idea, I've been playing the game for about 5 days now, and I've got 100 gems so far. And I haven't even spent any. I think I accidentally spent 5 by accident, because I didn't realize what I was hitting. But other than that, I haven't spent any. And it usually costs like 20 to heal your troops. Which, like that's the thing that is really like confusing me about mobile games. Like, I've never been a mobile gamer, and doing this swag bucks thing is, I knew you were here. I knew one of you were somewhere. I knew there was one of you somewhere around here. It was just a matter of where. And when you were gonna show your ugly face. Oh, were you gonna try to grab me? And do the little tickle, tickle, pinch, pinch, squeeze? Daddy don't play that game. Anyway. Like, that's the thing that, like, I don't like, okay, here's the thing. I think I talked about this, like, in, like, one of the first episodes of Elden Ring that I did, because Elden Ring is one of the first games that I bought with money that I earned from swag bucks. Which, the very fact that I was able to buy Elden Ring and Dying Light 2 and a new controller and some DLC for a game that I already had, and just got another $50 gift card. That's proof that it works. Like if you got the time and the patience to pump into games that you don't give a shit about, it works. I mean, it can be frustrating, like if you when you're nearing your deadline and you realize that you're probably not going to make the goal of that game, which has happened a few times, and you realize that all those hours you pumped into a game you didn't give a shit about has now been for nothing. And that has happened a few times where that's why I tend to choose games that the only game that I've chosen that I knew was going to require a time investment was Rise of Kingdoms. Like looking into that, I knew it was going to require a time investment, but the payout for that was $100. So I decided to go for it, and $100 was worth it in my opinion. But like, it's like, for instance, just for perspective, the Rise of Kingdoms, I had to put like 4 or 5 hours a day of work into that game. And to be fair, some of that was me just bumbling around because I'd never played a game like that before. And so there's probably like a lot of parts where I really could have just like set things to do its own thing and not really, focused on it. But did someone whistle? I feel like someone whistled. You also do sometimes run into games that you reach the goal that you're supposed to reach, and then just nothing happens. Like it says wait a day or two, and like one thing that like kind of makes me feel like Swagbucks is a bit scammy, but maybe is to get, like, if I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt, maybe it's just their legal department not communicating with each other. But what's fucked up is it says in 2 different places it'll tell you to wait like up to a certain amount of days if you don't get credited for like a game that you did the goal for. Wait a certain amount of days before contacting customer support to give it time to credit. But then in another thing, it'll say if you don't contact customer support within a certain amount of time of your offer, it'll be forfeit, and it's just a whole weird thing. But in their defense, not really in their defense, but in the time I've done that, I've probably done like maybe like 9 games. I've actually done like about 13 or 14, but there were a few that I got like a little ways into. I'm like, fuck this, I am not playing this game. But out of all the ones that I've done and like actually like completed, there was only one out of all of them that did not properly credit me. And that was something called Traffic Puzzle, which was actually, funnily enough, the one game that doesn't credit me was the one that I didn't really mind. Like, it was just a fun little puzzle game. Basically, you had these cars on a grid, like in like a traffic jam, and you could from different angles you would have like almost like if you played like Luxor or Zuma, like those old. Okay, I need to check if I have my correct earbud sides in. Yes, I do. Although sometimes my port just reverses for some reason. But how much time do I have left? There's 27 minutes. Okay. You would like you would have like it would show you what car color you currently have in your queue, and like you touch one of the little arrows and it would send one in from that direction, and if you match 3 it would get rid of those cars. And so basically it was like, you know, just a match 3, like clear out the grid thing. But one thing I liked about it is that if a car was like if you looked at the direction that a car was facing, if there wasn't anything blocking it, it would just drive. And sometimes it would drive into a wall and then stop at that grid. But sometimes, like if you really took a moment, and thank God there wasn't a time limit. I think if there was a time limit, the game would have been a piece of shit. But you had time to like look at it and see like, okay, if I hit this one, then this car will drive off the grid, removing it from the game, which will free up this one to drive off the grid. You can cause little cascades like that, and different levels have like different objectives, like matching. Like there was like some where like some of the squares were covered in snow, and if you you had to match cars on the snow to get rid of the snow, and you had to get rid of all the snow on the level. Unfortunately, like most mobile games, it was just like that. Like it almost feels like with games like that, they calculate how many turns you realistically would fairly need to complete a puzzle, and then they just reduce the amount they give you by a few. Because what I would have to do is I would have to uh uh wait until like I got my little daily spins. And every there's a grace site. Hello. Touch grace. And then sometimes the daily spin thingy that you would get would give you like 30 minutes or an hour to just really plow through the levels, because like at that point, even if you fail, you can just like retry over and over again until you get good luck with, because like even though like the placement of each puzzle was always the same, what colors the cars constituted was always random. So like if with enough tries you could get really lucky with the colors and like where each thing was. And there's a okay, first I'm going over here because I think this is a map. No, you should be a map, sir. I've been to things that looked like you and they were maps. So I don't know what you're fucking doing to me there. But yeah. Anyway, back to my rambling. I don't really, like, I do get it because I understand, like, the psychology and, like, the research they've... Sir? Sir! Sir! I don't... There we go. And I understand, like, the psychology of, like, the whales and stuff, and how, like, most of their revenue comes from, like, such a tiny portion of the player base, so they can literally afford to... What do you... Okay, I feel like you were taking more damage for a moment there, and then suddenly you were taking less damage. And I don't appreciate that aspect of what I'm experiencing here, sir. Yeah, I got beast bones from a ghost. That's normal. I wonder if the deers, the underground deers, give something unique. Come here. No, just thin bones. Okay. Because I'll look at like the cost of like certain things in mobile games, and it just does not make sense to me. Like I do not, and again, like that is with the caveat of me knowing about whales, which if you don't know, that's the term they use for like people that will like just blow hundreds of like just thousands of dollars on mobile games. Like especially them gacha games, which I like the concept of gacha games. I actually really do. Like I'm gonna say something kind of fucked up. Is I like loot boxes. In theory, I like the concept of them. To me, it's really no different than getting a booster pack of fucking Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards or Magic the Gathering cards. The problem comes in with the one unclear monetization or unclear chances, which they didn't like. Most games with loot boxes nowadays will like actually let you see what your chances of getting certain things are, and they only did that because of like of pressure from legislation and stuff. And then with like the heavy monetization, like compared to cards and stuff, the monetization and before you say, well, also cards are physical, it's an actual, well, there's stuff like Hearthstone, so that doesn't factor. But like the way it's monetized and the way like also like most games you can't trade the stuff that you can't. There are some games where you can put like stuff you get in a loot box up on an eShop or whatever, but a lot of games you can't. Whereas with physical cards, and I think with I've never played stuff like Hearthstone because I don't like trading card games, and by which I mean I love trading card games, but there's a specific reason why I don't play them, which I'll get into if I can remember after this other ramble. I hate that I have to kill the sweetest looking beasties to get the thing that I need to make my arrows. But like I've played games in the past that had some like stuff similar to loot boxes, and if you really think about it, loot boxes aren't all that different from just like playing something like Diablo or whatever and just getting loot from an enemy. It's with the presentation and the psychology and again the monetization. That's why they got so much blowback when they did that cash shop thing for Diablo 3, the auction house, because having that random element monetized is where we start to get in to the ridiculousness of it. Like a game, like I think a game that had loot boxes, I don't know if there's any games like this. There might be. But a game that had loot boxes that was in no way whatsoever monetized. Like I know most games with loot boxes you can earn some through gameplay. But obviously that it's also monetized, and you also have like ways of like paying money to. But like if a game had loot boxes and there was literally no way whatsoever to spend real money on them. Damn, this place is so big that you got your own little teleporties? That's wild. And I think that'd be kind of fun. That'd be kind of fine. Okay. I don't know. Oh, okay. I was freaking out because I couldn't lock onto it, but I guess after it does its thing, it disappears. But anyway, the unfortunate truth, like, I put it like this. I don't think I've been articulating what I'm trying to say here correctly. So what I'm trying to do is, like, put myself in a mindset where I don't know anything about, like, whales and like the statistics of how much, like, what percentage of people spend on mobile games, and then how much they end up spending. Because I realize that they're able to ridiculously price things because the people that will spend the fuck out of it, and in the end they actually end up making more with ridiculously priced microtransactions that only a small percentage of players utilize than they would have with reasonably priced ones that more people bought. They actually make more this way. That's just a sad truth. But to put myself outside of that mindset for a moment, I look at like when I play a game like just random mobile games that I've tried for swag bucks, and it'll be like the ridiculousness of it. Like I'll lose a puzzle or something, and it'll pop up a thing that is like, get 3 extra lives for like $2. And I think $2 for something that will at best maybe help me pass this level, probably won't, because I'll still be dealing with the same randomization. And it just, like, I look at the fucking pricing of things, and it's like, it just doesn't compute for me. And then I step out of that bit of, like, self-imposed, like, purposefully forgetting about whales and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, they do that because there are people that will, like, people that, for one reason or another, they have that kind of disposable income. Maybe they're older and they have retirement money, or whatever reason they have that kind of disposable income. There are people that will sit there and they make these games addictive. They use, like when I was talking about loot boxes, they literally do. You appeared out of nowhere, my friend. They either use psychology to make them as addictive as they possibly can, with like the colors and like the sound effects, like when you open them. Like, it's the same, like, psychology manipulation that casinos use. But like, I don't know, that's why the few times that I do find a mobile game that, like, isn't really bad with its and it's bad enough that they do that, but then half these games also, they want you to, like, they want to, like, force, like, microtransactions at a, like, that are ridiculously priced and provide very little for what you're spending money on. And then on top of that, they'll force you to watch an ad every 3 seconds. I've played games on Swagbucks where I literally had to watch an ad every maybe 40 seconds. It got that ridiculous at points. And luckily I found an exploit. Don't tell anyone. I found an exploit with a lot of them. It doesn't work in every game, but some games, if it starts playing an automated ad, you can press the home button, and then just, like, tap the game again. It'll bring the game back up, and the game's still in the memory, so the game's still running, and then you'll just not be in the ad anymore. So like I got to the point where I would like basically every oh shit, I did not know you had a charge you do attack. I mean, you got horns, so I mean it makes sense that you would have attack like that. I need to remember these guys aren't as intimidating as they seem because they can be stun locked. They do break out of it eventually, and like you can tell when they're getting ready to break out of it. But other than that, they're not. But yeah, um, uh, you know, I've played games like I'd say my favorite mobile game that I've ever played is A Girl Adrift. Like if you want a relaxing mobile game that does not shove ads down your throat, that does have microtransactions but never makes you feel like you're like being pushed into it, play A Girl Adrift. That is one of the most relaxing mobile games I've ever played. You're this little girl, just a fucking adorable little chibi girl. And you're on this little boat, and you can pick, you know, different lands to go to, like different islands. You're basically in water world. Like, it's all water except for like a few little islands. You can go between them to do quests, and you fish. Like, all you really do is fish. And there's like a battle system where like once you catch a fish, come on, do your thing. Once you do catch a fish, it like your fishing rod has an amount of damage, and you also have like little turrets that you can buy. And so you're fighting the fish, and a lot of them are like really huge, like monstrous fish. But as much as that make it sound like it's, you know, a difficult game, it's really not, because you can actually unlock a thing that lets you set the level of the fish that you could possibly catch. And you unlock an auto fishing feature. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. You unlock an auto fishing feature that does exactly what it says. And if your auto fishing catches a fish, like each fish in the little decks will show, like, any fish can be any level. Like, you can find a fish that the first time you found it was like level 1, and like way later in the game you can find the exact same fish and it could be like level 200. But it keeps track of what the highest of every single fish that's in the game. It keeps track of what the highest level of that particular fish you've caught is. And when you're in the auto fishing mode, if you catch a fish that's if you auto catch a fish that's lower, I want to say lower to or equal to, but I might be wrong. You are casting shit, and I don't approve. And I can't. Oh my god, I am out of heals. This is bad, and I have no arrows. This is bad. This is a bad. It's a bad look, people. It's a bad look. I have a physic. No, I have a physic. And now I have nothing. Can I maybe get to a point where I can craft, maybe? Can I maybe run away and then craft, and then I could come back and we could reconvene? But anyway, if the fish you auto catch is lower than, and I want to say equal to, but I could be wrong with that, the highest level of that fish you've caught, it just auto catches it for you. And so what you can do is to grind up your XP and the little fish cake uh, money or whatever that you get, you can just set it to auto sail and auto fish, and it'll just sail around. And it'll sail to the different boss fish location. You can auto catch those too, if you set your if the setting is low enough and the ones that pop up are lower than the max level you caught. And you can just let it chill. Keep it on vibrates. Keep it on your lap so that the few times that a fish does pop up that is a higher level than the max you've ever caught of that fish, you can manually do the catching. It's just a super relaxing game. I love it. I really do. Alright, now I can craft. Let us make... Let us make... I don't know if, like, magic would damage those guys. Because they are magic, but, like, when an enemy is magic, it can go both ways. It could be, like, they're strong against it, or, like, it's, like, in their realm of what they are, so it actually damages them more. I don't know. Let's make a bunch of those. And equip them. Yeah. Let's see if that helps at least a little. Time do I have? 6 minutes, okay. But yeah. I got a $50, it usually takes 2 to 3 days to deliver the gift card. I've never had a problem with that, like they always come within. The only time, like, I wouldn't call it a problem, but the only time that something did happen was I didn't realize, because, you know, I have no life, so this doesn't really enter into my brain. But I didn't realize that I ordered one on a Thursday, and I was waiting days for it to come, like in my email. Jesus Christ. I didn't realize it was the weekend and that it only can deliver on like business days. But with the one I got coming, I want to get a new HDMI cable, and I meant to check this, and I was lazy and didn't. And if it turns out that it doesn't, then it's not the end of the world. But I want to see if I can on Amazon get a replacement for my Astro Gamer headset jack, like the actual like 3.5 millimeter, because it's one of the ones that one end is 3.5 millimeters and the other end is like the 4-prong or 5-prong, or like the other end is like the bigger jack. So like that's the issue. But and I actually saw in the store for like $15 at one point. Like I was in the electronics because I needed to get a universal remote, and I saw that they had ones that are like one end of it is the regular 3.5 millimeter and the other end is like the longer one. And I wasn't certain if I didn't get it because I mean I didn't really have the money at the time, and also I wasn't really certain if it would work. You know, I know that like I have no healing left and I should probably rest there, but I've killed off so many enemies that I don't want to have to. I want to like make sure that like I have cemented in my head exactly what I've explored and exactly what I have not explored, so that when I do rest and everything respawns, I know what I don't need to deal with again. And I know that I haven't been over there, like through that bit of wall. I haven't really explored much over there. I went up there, I know, and I lit a thing. I know that there's something over here. Because when I was up on that cliff over to the left there, I saw another cliff to the right. And I saw an item. But I don't know how to get up there. Oh, is this it? Is this just it right here? Like, am I that dumb? Is this the item? Yes, it is, and it's a important item. It's a cookbook. Can we move? Okay, I think I've got it in my mind. All that I haven't explored, and I need to remember there's a teleporter in the middle of this place, but I can worry about that later. I haven't explored up those stairs yet, and I haven't explored from there to there. I haven't explored. Like, how much time do I have? Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Well, that solved the puzzle for me. I think that made the decision for me. Oh shit. David just sent me a message that says I hate this game, which is funny because like he sent me a message originally that when he was first streaming that like he maybe just wasn't in a Soulsy mood, but he wasn't getting into it. Spare him because I always like seeing how his betrayals play out. He asked me what I picked. Then I said, why hate? What happened? What happened? What happened? Yep. That's actually a YouTube series that I watch. It's a really good series. It's if you're not subscribed to Matt McMuscles, I don't watch like much of his content other than that. On Cave that was hidden behind an illusory wall, and the boss is literally the biggest BS thing ever. Oh, LOL. Oh, time's up. Looking for forward to it. Actually, I'm gonna end the episode. Then I'm gonna ask him exactly where it is, and then I'm gonna. I won't ask him where it is. I'll worry about it later. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye bye.